well, he's obviously a captain, but he doesn't have that swag like, like Jerome and Taruva and them. I think that's what they're missing. Like, they're having fun at the Tigers. Like,
Yeah.
whereas, Critter just looks like he has to be an adult now, and I feel sorry for him because it's like he's part of that clique too, whereas he's looking around like...
Queensland are going to have a tough selection this year because not only are we slim pickings to select with, but our incumbents are playing some terrible NRL level football at the moment. So...
Welcome into another episode of the 135 Footy Show, proudly part of the Weswes Network. You can go check us out over at our new YouTube home, Weswes Sports channel, and with our new website as well. We've changed the domain. Funny that. It is now theweswes.com. So go over there and you'll be able to check us out, all our other podcasts and articles written by our own columnists, including Bob Savalio. Welcome, Wolf. Been a few weeks. Haven't seen you for a while, man. How you been?
Yeah, how's it, bro? It's good to be back. I've been off away on holiday, visiting the boy over there in Australia. It's been good listening in to you and Sai and you and Stace last week. So,
good to be nice back. To hear you're still listening in, mate. It sounds like a nice area the boy's been playing in. So, all the best, Caleb, for the rest of your season. Hope it goes well. Quick little shout out to the boys over at Glasgow. Thanks for tuning in. Morgs told me you guys have been listening, so cheers for the listen. Let's get straight into it. It's been a while for you, so let's go straight into our awards. Let's go with your All Eyes for round 9. Who stood out for you, bro?
All Eyes for me goes to a person who he's been outstanding, this guy, Suafat Longo. He's been outstanding in a team that's just been underperforming, unfortunately, and even with his dynamic, magical performances, like Sua really is just been a one-man band. But even his sort of miracle plays haven't been enough to sort of drag the Storm out of the slump that they're in. 2 weeks in a row now, we've seen some amazing tries from Suafat Longo. That one where he chipped for himself last week.
From kickoff.
From kickoff, picked it up and just ran straight through everyone and scored a try. And similarly, this one against the Dolphins, where he just smoked past Herbie Farnworth, who's no slouch, man. And then he took him on down the side. It looked like Hammer had him covered, but then, man, on the dime, he just stopped. And then Hammer just kept going. Yeah, and then that pace, like that acceleration from pretty much a standing still.
Oh yeah, because Hammer's so that was cool to see, like just that out and out pace, like Hammer got to him, but then for him to change, and Hammer was like, "Oh, I can't get going like that." So, man.
And then he scored that try, and even Hammer after the game was sort of talking about how he's looking forward to playing with Sua for tour, the World Cup. So that was a really cool thing for Hammer to say. He was like, I'm really excited to play with Sua. And then the commentator's like, who do you think's the fastest out of you two? Oh, I am. So, very straight up. I reckon in a race, Hammer's got him, but just that ability to,
first 10.
Yeah, man. And he was gone. And it's been cool to see that there are still signs of life from the Storm. But man, they've I don't know what it is that they need to do. If the news that broke about Bellamy the week before, and then they coming out to say, we'll play for Craig this week, and I mean, it wasn't a bad performance. It looked like they were trying really hard, and then it just wasn't enough. Like the last 20 minutes, the game kind of got away from them, and then the Dolphins kind of picked up. But for me, All Eyes for the weekend's games just passed goes to Suafat Longo.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, Sua, bro. Like, awesome for him too, because I think with a lot of the changes, like everyone's trying to find answers for what's wrong with the Storm, and I think the good thing for Sua is that he's been able to hold his head high, because it'd be easy for others to go, the spines, disjointed because they've lost Paps, but the I guess they're attacking, and all of those systems should still be there. Like, you lose nothing with him being there. He's caught every high ball that comes his way as well. So, so I think it's important that he's been able to stand up. But yeah, like you said, I don't know where the Storm go. Like, they dug deep for 60 minutes, and yeah, very unstorm. Like that's part of their thing. Is like, you'd think, cool, they're going back to what they know, just grind, nothing flashy. Like, Saw can pull those things out, but if they just grind, they'll be back in the game. So kind of disappointing just to see them, like, concentration, not being able to just have that mental toughness. And I don't know if that's something Bellamy kind of, like, he, I don't know how long he's known, that there's been an issue, but a few press conferences now, he's saying, we need to look at everything, not just the guys, like our systems, myself. I don't know if there's like just his own standards. Like, it's interesting, like some of what people have been saying, like Bellamy, like I was listening to, who was on one of the stations talking about, like, just his standards when he was already in his 60s, and they'd go and do, their trainings and stuff like that. And he was, he prides himself on, like, getting the guys to just keep pushing, like, whatever your time is for Broncos, or although he's like, it's about pushing your effort even harder than just yourself, not just settling. And I was saying, like, he was at like 60 doing one, like a big test or something like that. And so they were saying, the man kept going, and then like at the end of it, like, he was just kept going back and forth. But he was hallucinating. They gone so hard out. He's just doing this. So it's like, damn. So yeah, maybe just his body's not being able, because if you're kind of showing, being able to be the guy who shows the guys the standards, I guess when the body's not able to do it, that his way of showing the teaching, maybe he's realized, like, he needs to change that, because he can't physically just keep setting the standards. I don't know, but yeah, wishing Bellamy all the best. My all eyes, I had Falungo there as like my special mention, but I actually a game we actually failed to mention last week. So the game started on Friday. I was wondering why there was no game last Thursday. It was actually the Origin first Origin game for the New South Wales Blues and the Maroons, playing over there at McDonald Jones Stadium. So this was awesome game just for the girls' game. Like, just seeing the New South Wales girls, they look good. Like, Queensland put in a good fight, and I thought they might be able to pull it out in the second half there, especially near the death. And then they just killed us with that try at the end, Jessica Sergis. But just real entertaining, especially where the girls' game is at the moment. Like, it's so cool that interesting how they start their season with this fixture and then jump into their normal round. So that was a historic game for the girls, the New South Wales. They've never been in the Maroons at McDonald's Jones Stadium. So shout out to the girls, at least, for New South Wales, and that performance they put on. What didn't go so well for you over the weekend? What's your Kaea Kele call out?
Mine's more like a Minty's moment, but from the same game, I suppose. My guy Kele's going to go to Dallin for that try that he sort of botched. But from the same game, I'd been talking about it on the chat, just around the commentary, like some of the unconscious bias towards the Warriors.
I'm disappointed in Daniel name, bro.
It's a little bit, and it's not from one of the ones that you're used to hearing shit from. Like, you're right, like, it was Dan Ganane, and it's usually Blocker who's, or bloody Brandy, who's an ex-Warrior himself, who sometimes talks the Warriors down. But yeah, it came after that second try that Ron scored, and they were within 4 points, I think, of the Warriors, the Eels, but there was still like 20 minutes to go. So it's kind of like they were talking up the Eels' chances, and just the way the commentary was going, they had completely written off the Warriors coming back. And I was thinking, wow, these guys, have they not been watching the Warriors? Yeah, it kind of had that sort of vibe. And so I was a little bit like, hey, these guys. And it wasn't until even after the Warriors scored after that, like the vibe was still, Parramatta are still in this. Like if you watch back the replay, you'll hear those comments coming through, even with Para like 10 points down. And I was like, no, man, they aren't coming back from this. There's no way that the Eels are going to come back from this. And surely enough, like the Warriors ran away with the rest of the game. But yeah, it wasn't until like the last 5 minutes where they started talking, and it's a hard-earned win from the Warriors. I was like, shut up, man. These guys are trash. But yeah, from that game, like I still give to Dylan, because that was like a gift wrap try that
literally
was
like,
there for him to just
fall on it.
Yeah, pretty much. And then he just made a complete meal out of it. And yeah, that's what I was talking about in our group chat. It was like, oh, Minty's moment, man. It just looked so makanga. That's not a way to get.
We might have to bring it back. Like, we always describe it, but I don't know, producer Cams, if you can chuck in the Minty's. Okay,
copyright infringement.
Yeah. Right, we'll just say it's original. The kids won't know. My Kaea Kele, I was tossing it up like, I'm gonna go with the Perth Bears. Like they've, I don't know, I don't know if it's just the timeline is just too short for them, or they've missed the jump. But their team comes in next year. Like there's been a lot of hype, and then it kind of went quiet, and then PNG got announced, and now PNG, like off the back of their moves they made last week, with Luai confirming that he's going there, Luai given the reins to try and help build a team around him. So they've made a real good move, and selling that whole Chiefs title, the whole concept of it, like I think that's huge buy-in, not just for the people of PNG and the players they'll be able to get locally, but any of these. Like you think they've targeted Luai with the rise of these Pacific Island teams. You think if they can get all these boys to buy into this concept that they're the chiefs of this team, and they're, this village that they're building, and literally a village, like they're gonna need strong leaders. Like I heard people talking about, like where they're living, like that compound. It's very much like gonna be like those island, just the community that we're used to. Like that's what it's gonna have to be like. People are gonna have to live together and work together and really have to. So you can see a real strong team coming together if they get this right. A team that has their family surrounding them, and the whole community is about this team, and so it's gonna be. It can go two ways. Like you can think all those different dynamics with WAGs, but I think that's something someone else brought up, is that you could end up having the WAGs. But I guess with the PNG, like there's all these positives, and the Perth Bears, like I don't know, maybe it's unfair because I don't know what they have to offer. Like there's Perth money, yeah, there's money in Perth from the mines in there, but there's no tax-free dollars. There's nothing else they sell. There's a very long trip. So PNG, yeah, it's a very long trip, but they've got this compound. I don't know what Perth has set up. Like, what are they offering the guys? Like, no one's heard from them. Mel's doing something, but we haven't heard of any. Like, they've got a few guys signed, but no marquee players. No one big that everyone's like, man, Perth's going to make a stand. So, yeah, my Kaea Kele goes to them just because of the timeline and how quiet it is. Like they're pretty much from now a year out. Like you'd think that at least have a formed team, like people would actually know about them, just to get some traction for their support. Like Dolphins, they already started getting some names, and we weren't sure where they'd go. But yeah, I felt like they were a lot further along than this. So yeah. Whether that's unfair, I don't know. PNG seems to be getting things right. Michael Chamis gone up there, from a journalist background, seems to be doing all the right things, going and learning from other clubs, looking around, seeing what high performance looks like, and goes, cool, that's what I need to do at PNG. So I think he's been, as the GM, he's gone around doing all the right things. So my Kaea Kele goes out to him. All right, also, let's get into some of our topics over the weekend. Let's kick off first with Benna. friend of the pod, family to the pod as well. But unfortunate, what did you call it? Acute something.
Compartment syndrome.
Which is, English, please.
It is a medical emergency characterized by dangerous mounting pressure within muscle compartments, usually following severe trauma like fractures or crush injuries. So it's high pressure limits blood flow, preventing oxygen from reaching nerves and muscles, which can cause permanent tissue damage or necrosis within hours. So it's very serious. What happened to old
I guess that's the emergency surgery he needed. Otherwise, it would have been no legs. I guess it saved his leg, kind of stuff. Man.
Yeah, well, that's what all the articles are talking about. That he had to have a limb-saving surgery. So you didn't realize the seriousness of it until all of the news sort of broke.
Yeah, so I don't know, like, if it's clear right now, but that's the thing. It's like, when he came off, would he have needed the surgery? Or is it because they put him back on, it made it worse that he needed the surgery? Because I guess that's the thing. When he came off, they kind of did assessments on the side. Karapani got injured, and then they're like, oh, better go back on. So I guess that's probably the biggest question, like, whatever the medical team needs to decide. Like, when they got him off, should he have gone hospital then? Or were they just like, oh, you can go back on, and then the fact that he went back on has hospitalized him, essentially. Yeah.
Well, he was hospitalized because of the swelling in his leg that happened that night when he was back at the team hotel. So it was nothing to do with like what it looked like at the game. At the game, he was assessed by the medical staff. He looked all right. It just looked like a cork. They strapped him up. And then it wasn't until he got back to the hotel later that night that it started to swell quite badly, and then he was in a bit of pain before they realised, we need to get an ambulance for you, mate. Because apparently they went to try and relieve pressure on it, but there was no fluid to relieve. Like,
It's
so I was
like
nah. So it had gone into his muscle, and so there was nothing for them to relieve, but the pressure was still building up within his muscle, which is why the doctor was smart enough to realize that it could have been acute compartment syndrome, and so he was wise enough to call the ambulance and hospitalize Binger. So yeah, man, Dean, all the best to you out there, to the nephew. Our thoughts and obviously our prayers go out to Jules and Luppy and the rest of the Ainga, and hoping for a speedy recovery there, Binger.
Yeah, speedy recovery, Binger. I guess there's a few teams on that same trajectory, like just struggling with the injuries. We'll get to the Broncos game later. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Dogs. Just we kind of mentioned it, like the time Webby came and Serraldo, they both left the Panthers at the same time. And I remember at the time talking to Stace, like there was also like, Serraldo seemed to be the coach that most teams wanted, like out of those two. And we got Webby, and so Webby's the attacking coach and Serraldo's the defense coach. But I don't know, looking at like how they've landed, because both teams are very similar. You look like you build a roster. There's no real stars. Like, it's just using what you've got. Like Tana Boyd has been a revelation under Webby, and even Metcalf in his time there. So yeah, you look at what's happening over at the Dogs, and it feels like they're going backwards. Just your thoughts. Like, it feels like it wasn't broken, then he botched it, and he's been botching it ever since, and it doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah, I think the game that broke the Doggies was probably the one from a few weeks back where they lost to the Eels, where everyone had kind of thought that they were going to forfeit the Eels
straight after the Panthers,
and then and that's that whole craziness of this year's NRL, where the Panthers the week before forfeit the Storm by like 50 points or whatever it was, and then the following week you're expecting them to smash the Doggies, and then the Doggies pumped them 32-16, and then it's like, what the hell is going on? And, you know,
And so
at
then the
that
Dogs
time,
get the Eels, so you think,
and then you say, suddenly, yeah, man, let's put the house on the Bulldogs,
the house on
13
the
plus
Dogs, they got
over the
it. They
Eels.
figured it out.
And then the Eels pull out that kind of performance where they beat them. It was high scoring, like 30-something points. And then that's kind of the game I feel like that kind of really broke their spirit. they were riding high after that Penrith one, and then the loss to the Eels, and they're like, oh, no, yeah, we'll reset and come back against who they have the week before, Broncos. And then the Broncos pumped them too. And that was the game I think that they had Critter back, or was Critter back the week before? I can't remember, but, you know, Critter's come back from injury, and it's like it's coincided with their losses. So I don't know what
I think he
Swallow was doing. Like, Inari wasn't doing anything flash, but I don't know, he was doing everything that was required of him. And yeah, man, the Dogs just haven't been the same. And then that loss last Friday to the Cowboys, like they got smashed off the park. And Tamalolo again, and Thomas Kaele, like, man, Size Nephew's been a beast. He's coming into his game, man, and I'm really enjoying. It's funny because he's come so close to scoring tries in the last four
many times. Every time when he scores, I go look for my phone. I'll be like, oh, finally, I'm gonna message on the chat like, "Sai, finally,"
and then I'll come try disallowed.
Like, it's under review. What the hell? I'm like,
or he falls, gets tackled like a meter short on the line, and it's like, oh, Tommy Miguel is still looking for his first try. I was like, oh, something. Yeah, he'll get it. Like he's on the cusp, man, of surely breaking through and getting himself a try.
Did he get over 100 games before?
It was definitely 100 games. 12 was he had the record. But yeah, like the Bulldogs just seem they're a little bit all over the place at the moment, man. And I don't think Lockie is that right guy. Like all of that talk from the Tigers, I think was true, and they built Lockie up so much. Like I reckon he'll mature.
Always messaging Critter like, I told you, bro. I told you about that guy. Come to PNG now.
Given time, I think Galvin will be a really good player. You can see the potential that he's got and his ability to sort of just like his speed to get in and out and score tries himself. Like he's got a real Adam Dewey type style where he's fast enough to get through those gaps. And so, you know, maybe not right now, but you know, in the future, Galvin will be real good. The issue they've got, I think, is that him and Bredo just don't work very well together.
Yeah, that's
I don't feel. I feel like there's a bit of a clash of styles between Galvin and Matt Burton. It wasn't so obvious at the start of the season when they were winning and everything's all good. But since they've been losing, you know, those are the things you got to look at. You know, you got to look at your playmakers. You got to look at your spine. You got to look at the people that are meant to be creating all of the opportunities for your outside backs and the creating of all of your whole attack centers around your halves combo. And so, you know, there's all that talk about Burton wanting to, I don't know, not enjoying the fact that sometimes when there's injuries he gets pushed out to centre, and then they're talking about him being played out at centre. And it's like, so the whole reason why he left Penrith to come to the Doggies was to be a half. Like, he doesn't want to be a centre. Yes, we know he's an amazing centre, but the man doesn't want to play there. He's made it quite adamant that he wants to be in the halves, creating and doing all of that stuff. But, you know, with injuries and things, he's found himself getting pushed out. And he's like, man, why am I getting pushed out to centre? Flipping Galvin is just as big. He's big enough to be a centre too, and I can stay in the halves. You know, so I think there's a little bit of a disconnect with the Doggies players, even with Critter coming back. You can really see it. Man, Montoya's confidence is super down.
I saw someone's post, though, like, bring him home, or like, nah. It's not his home. I'm sorry. He came from the Dogs. He can stay at the Dogs.
Exactly. Like he was at the Doggies before. So, he might have built his game up and then made himself look more attractive to the Doggies who brought him back.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the thing.
was
He was at
all
his
off the
height
back of the Warriors.
when he left us.
Yeah, man. He was at his prime, man, and he went back to the Doggies, and then all of a sudden he just looked
back
really
to his
average.
Doggies form. Like, that's why when he left to come to us, it's like,
nah, man.
What about this Montoya guy?
Should
I just like his name, Marcelo Montoya.
Yeah.
You killed my father. Guy.
But yeah, so now at the moment, he's low on confidence. You got a captain in Critter who's trying to pick his troops up, but they've got some injuries as well. I was having a look at the casualty list, and they've got a whole bunch of players who are out. Kiraz out to around 12. Kaea out with his pec injury to around 20. Max Ging, Kurt Mann, Jake Turpin, Mitchell Woods. Like all of these players are TBC, so they haven't even put a timeline yet on when these guys are. Max King's a broken jaw, head knock. Kurt Mann, that could be indefinite. You don't know when players come back from those head knock injuries. A torn bicep, Jake Turpin. So it's like, man, they've got some personnel out, and and at the moment they're trying to sort of put Band-Aid over all of the issues that they've got, and all of these losses are going to start to compound and then make that whole acquisition of Lockie Galvin and the fact that they chased him last year, it's going to make it look stupid if he's not able to sort of turn these performances around and put them back in the positive, because that's what you're there for, man. That's the reason why they chased you and all of that publicity.
It's real unfortunate for him too, because like you listed, all of those injuries just compound the focus on him. Like, people will say, "Oh, it's not fair. That's not just him," but it's like, but unfortunately, that's why he's been brought there, like to lead the team. So, I don't know. They just don't seem to be having fun. Like, you think Critter, like, no one, like, I guess this has kind of put a lot of those people to shame that thought, he's not really a captain. Like, well, he's obviously a captain, but he doesn't have that swag, like, like Jerome and Taruva and them. I think that's what they're missing. Like, they're having fun at the Tigers. Like, whereas, Critter just looks like he has to be an adult now, and I feel sorry for him because it's like he's part of that clique too. Whereas he's looking around like, so it feels like I'm working now. Like, I'm the captain, and I actually have to work here. It's like going to a business job, whereas those guys look like they're still having fun playing. It's like, I want to have fun. I don't want to be here act like I've got to go to my work. Because he seriously looks like he's working the balls. So
we're expecting a captain's knock from you every game.
yeah, exactly. Like, just do some magic. Like, and I guess that's what he was doing for a long time. But it's like, obviously it wasn't sustainable. Like, he's amazing, but those injuries are going to take a toll. So I guess it was just to show the positives as well of where Webby's at. Also, you've missed a couple of weeks. We started. We're a few weeks out now from the naming of the Origin teams. So we started doing some early picks, and a lot of those are kind of a bunch of question marks through injuries and form. So I got Stace to go through and look at some of the New South teams that me and Sai called out. I'll come back to you for the Queensland one because I've got a whole bunch of gaps here now. But I'll start with our fullback. So Sai was pretty adamant and he locked in Walsh. But after what I saw with Ponga's return, man, and that's his first game, I'm throwing up Ponga. I know Walsh is your favourite player, so I'd like to hear what you think.
Man, my issue with Walsh, and it's unfortunately a personality clash, I think. And it's that maturity mindset, and he doesn't need to change how he plays. He just needs to change a little bit of how he responds to situations or how he handles things. Like, you can still see him kind of fire off on his own players or just start yelling, and I understand he's passionate. I mean, sure, but I don't know, like, it's still a difficult decision to make. Like, Ponga brings you that maturity, he brings you that X factor, similar sort of speed, but I don't know. if I was to pick a team today, I'd probably pick Ponga over Walsh. More for the fact that the Broncos haven't really had the hottest start to the year, and being the defending premiers, there's a lot of pressure on them to repeat last year's efforts. And I mean, they've still got the team to do it, but I mean, we just spoke about the Doggies and their injury ward. There's so many injuries at the Broncos at the moment that it's going to be an uphill battle for them to try and come back and go back to back. I still reckon they'll make the 8, but it's going to be uphill battle for them. But yeah, for me, man, Ponga, you're right. But I think the reason why Ponga looks good is he's now got a sidekick in Dylan Brown to play with at the Knights, and it's the pressure's off him to just the pressure's not just on him. That's what I mean. Plays. Hard out. Like now he's got some other guys who are calling shots.
Yeah, you remember last year, you just see it's like the teams just watch him sweep and like go left. Oh, hold on, let's go this way because Ponga's moving this way. Let's go this way.
Yeah, I'm going to try something on this side. Now I'm going to try something on this side. And it just never worked. Whereas the Knights at the moment could try something on the right side while Ponga is way out on the left because Dylan Brown's now trying to do shit out this side with Gagai, and now that side with Bradman Best, with and he's got Dylan Lucas. He's got all these edge back rowers that are really firing over there. Trey Mooney's doing really well up front. It's like suddenly, all of a sudden, the Knights, the pieces of their puzzle seem to be coming together under Holbrook, and they seem to be a much, much more engaged, much more connected team than they ever were last year. You still got to have Reece Walsh in your team, though. I feel if you're Queensland, where you're going to put him, I don't know. Does he come off the bench? He's too much X factor to leave out of the team because Reece. You look at what he almost did for the Broncos in the weekend when they were getting smashed by the Roosters. All of a sudden, you've got Ezra Mann playing like shit, but you've got now Adam Reynolds has gone off, and he's gone, okay, well, Ezra's not doing anything. So now I'm going to take the ball and just take this game by the scruff of the neck and just try and do things myself. He was the man, and he almost single-handedly brought the Broncos back. And Sai was talking about it. This is going to be the greatest comeback. And I was thinking, it had the hallmarks of being the greatest comeback ever. I didn't want it to be, but it sure looked like it was going to happen.
I just feel sorry for Carrigan because everyone just says, if it wasn't for Carrigan, they probably would have. It's like, God. One little mistake, but it looked like because it was the momentum killer. That's like, it's all your fault, Carrigan. In their winger, Coates unlikely to get back, or may not get a game before the teams are listed. I didn't even know if he's back that soon. He was an incumbent. Maybe Walsh slots in there, unless there's another winger you're keen on at the moment.
There it is. Slim Pickens, bro, for wing. I'm just going through the list of people who are eligible.
Not Philip Sami. You don't want to recall Philip Sami from...
he's been playing all right. Shit, I don't know. Maybe. But you've got guys like Xavier Savage who are eligible. Shibasaki's eligible. Who from the Dolphins? Cobbo.
Cobbo might, because I was thinking he might go on the other one, because Taulagi is likely to be out, I think. I don't know how long he is.
Jojo Fafita. He's one.
He's another big body.
Who else? It's...
Val? I don't know if Val's... Is he injured?
Cabrera? He's a Queenslander.
There we go. He's showing something now. Actually, I don't want to give up any Warriors.
he's one. They've got fullbacks that could probably fit in there. Like Yongi. Sorry, Yongi, he's one.
Oh, okay. So that's good then. At least we got some... I wasn't sure what we had for wingers, but it sounds like we do have quite a bit that Billy can draw on. In the middles, you'd go with Toya and Hammer.
Yes. Val's just been too erratic with his form of late. Yeah. And the other centres, no one else really has sort of stood up. Dane Gagai has tried hard at the Knights, but man, he always gets ragdolled by Latrell every Origin.
Latrell, well, that's the thing, yeah. You look at him up against Latrell, like, oh man.
Yeah.
Well, so as anyone against Latrell in the Moody's, then at the moment, that's the biggest threat. Like Latrell's form right now shows me he like wants to eat everyone at Origin level. So it's waiting for it. No bolters. Jackson Purdue, you don't see him getting a look in.
No, I mean he's been alright, but I think he's too skinny, man. If he goes in against Latrell, like he's just he's not doesn't have enough weight on him. He's gonna get ragdolled out the side.
And in your halves, Dearden Munster again form, but I guess it's Origin. Anyone else knocking on Munster's door? That's our captain as well, so I doubt there's any changes there.
DC's been surprisingly good at the Roosters. He's probably the only other person I'd look at for the halves. And I know Cam is our captain, but he's been playing super average at the Storm over the last few months. So it's like, oh my god,
Yeah, not even able to put the team on his back too. Like that's one thing. Like when it comes to Origin level, you want someone to be. But again, maybe it's the rest of it. So like, I guess that's the difference in Origin. You can put a team on your back because they're guns, whereas when you try and put a team on your back and they just can't catch a ball, it's like, guys.
And I don't know. I feel like Queensland are going to have a tough selection this year because not only are we slim pickings to select with, but our incumbents are playing some terrible NRL level football at the moment. So, you always support Queensland, but the reality is the form of the Queensland incumbent players, especially the majority of them who are at the Storm, has been super average. So it's like, shit, man, what's going on?
Well, the trouble doesn't end in the back, so we'll move into the forwards as well. So Tino and a struggling Titans.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot, but I don't know, like just being in that environment too looks like it makes him look worse. Like he's doing a lot, but it doesn't look impactful, and I think that's what's not helping him. So Tino's still the man, but it's like, he needs to get in a Queensland jumper sooner or later because it's like just to feel like he's alive again because he must like be sick of like
and
all the money he's getting. He's like, I don't care. I don't want to play anymore if I have to play like this.
What's funny is like the Titans were in the same sort of boat last year, and the two props we picked were the props from the Titans. It was like Mo and Tino. I was like, suddenly are they like? It said no one else.
No one else.
And that's been Queensland's issue. I feel like we went from the heyday of picking like the Petros of the world, the Steve Prices of the world,
and like NRL level, and they just go like this, and they're at Origin level because they're just always there.
And now it's like, oh shit, Josh Papali'i is. Are we gonna do another Hail Mary after Josh Papali'i to come out of retirement?
One more season. Chase Tomalolo. I don't know if those new rules changed things there. I don't know if he's a late call up to come into Queensland. We'll have to check the books on that. We might have to pull some of those ones this season with those new rules. See, that's the thing that these New South Wales people didn't realize is that we were part of those rules. I don't think
he's eligible because the age rules are still the same. So if you weren't over in Queensland or New South at 13, then... But you know who is eligible? It's Thomas Mikaele. from the Cowboys.
He's born over there.
He's been playing really well, and man, I wouldn't put it past.
That's a good call, bro. That's a good bolter, mate. I like it.
I'd pick Tom to be a bolter, especially if we're wanting a big flipping forwards like Tom. He's a beast,
Todd
man.
Payton will be over the moon because that'll take his game to another level. Imagine Mikaele just in camp, just being allowed to get to camp. Bro, Thomas would be beast after that.
They picked what's the centre from Roosters?
Toya.
Yeah, they picked Rob Toya in his debut season. Queensland. Right. So maybe Billy's got another out of it left field pick. Because look at how Rob Toya's been playing at the Roosters. Like, so the man was a nobody, got picked for Origin, and now all of a sudden, he's
just another one of those Roosters guys. Yeah, like Daniel Tupou, who's just like gonna be there, reliable for what he does. Like, he don't have to be flashy, but every game he's just safe. Like, that's how the Roosters do it. Like, they find those guys. It's like, you don't need to be like the amazing guy. Like, you just do your job and put some amazing guys around you, and that's enough. I like that call on the bolter.
Yeah.
Lindsay.
I don't know, man. Lindsay, love what he's done for Queensland in recent years, but suddenly the man is cut to the days and keeps getting himself knocked out. And in the weekend, he did exactly the same thing. Yeah. So it's like, come on, mate. We need you for Origin.
He's had a few too, yeah. I don't know. It's hard to keep him out when he does those Origin things. Like, all of a sudden, like, again, like, he's one of those, once he got to that Origin level, all of a sudden he's the guy chasing back for balls. He's picking up high kicks. Like, this guy's just making up his new plays that he wants to be like a gun forward. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. In the back row, we had Capewell, Cotter, and Carrigan. I think I just saw Jeremiah Eyez out. So yeah, he's long term again. So he's going to miss out, unfortunately, because of injury. I think we talked about some bolters, maybe Helam Luki. Yeah, I'm not too sure of any other kind of bolters.
Liero from Storm.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's been in there before. I don't know if anyone in the Storm deserves to get into the team.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it's like, and I think that back row is probably going to be tough to pick because, man, who are you going to pick? Is this another Hail Mary out to Felisa Golfusi from the Dolphins? It's like, suddenly these guys are meant to be enjoying the twilight of their career, and they're like, hey, Billy, I really love playing with you at the Storm and at Queensland, and now you want me to play in your team. So suddenly,
right next to all these little kids, please help me.
Yeah, like there's, I don't know. It might have to be the ones that you mentioned earlier. I like Helam Luki. He's all right. He's dynamic. He's been playing really well in that Cowboys pack. They've been dominating teams in the last few weeks, so he might be.
Jordan Ricky's been a standout for the Broncos recently as well. So maybe he finds his way in.
I don't know, man. Jordan Ricky's got like the highest missed tackles stat. Is it missed tackles, or he's got like a really high negative stat? He's like number one in negative stats for something. I can't remember. If I find it, I'll bring it back up. But I suppose he's good for what he does, but it's kind of like he'll score a try and give two away. So it's like,
yeah, oh man, it's interesting because when we went through that New South pack, man, we were like, they've got riches in all the positions. I'm like, what the hell? These guys like 3 different back rowers on top of the normal ones you choose. So again, like it sets up for a really good comp Origin series. Yeah, head and shoulders the favorites again for New South. Let's quickly just wrap up those games from the weekend. We've touched a little bit on the Eels Warriors game. I wanted to touch first. I really liked what Webby said in the presser. They asked him about Luke Metcalf because he was fit on the weekend and he was on the bench and went unused. So they just said, what does that mean for the halves combination? And it's good. Webby put it to bed, like, Chanel and Tana are our halves. Like, they're going great right now, so there's no reason to change. And he mentioned, like, Luke's done nothing wrong. This is just part of the way that we have to play the game. So I think as a fan, I love that. Like, because when, like, maybe Chanel was injured, I thought that was like just a knee-jerk thing that he brought Luke in, but maybe it was like Chanel wasn't quite right, so we had to bring Luke in. Yeah, so that's
he was out for HIA from the previous week.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it settles things too. It just helps them fight properly for their positions. Like, those two are on top and should rightly be allowed to play that position. But yeah, what else from the weekend, bro? Like, on that point, but also the game overall.
But the Warriors game? I reckon it was good to have those games where you are able to grind out wins. Like, yes, the scoreline probably flattered the Warriors because that first half, Para were really niggly. Like, they came to play and they were playing really niggly football, getting under the skin. They were, not allowing the Warriors to get any sort of ascendancy. They were
they got some good six agains, like they got the Warriors on the back foot. I think that's when that Volkman try came. Like, they got us a couple of times there. Just really trying to get their ruck speed up, and the ref was noticing that, and that's when they got a few back-to-backs.
And their tries, I thought, were a little bit fortunate, and it did keep them in the game, because at the same time the Warriors were finding it hard to get past them as well. But then they were scoring tries, not really. They weren't constructing any flashy moves or anything. It was just real fortunate bounces of the ball, or a really lucky offload to an unmarked player on the wing, and then Para were able to sort of just stay in touch with the Warriors, even though they were just slightly ahead. And I thought that was more frustrating than anything. And we've seen in the past Warriors teams capitulate when they've been that close to a team where they should have blown
just
off.
The frustration gets to us. So
hard out. And then it's good that we've been able to. That's what I really like about Tana, and this is the real point of difference of, like, Sean Johnson. Like, Sean is, for all of his skills and stuff, like, he comes across as being a bit too fiapoko and a bit too flash.
Just emotional in those, goes with the
absolutely emotional. And isn't able to sort of, keep composure or stay calm when he should have. And that was never Sean's strength. His strength was that just playing confidence, and it would just build and build and build. And that was the beauty of watching Sean play. Whereas Tanner Boyd is all about composure. Like, man, he'll miss a kick and then he'll turn around and be like, shit. But then not dwell on it, and then he'll just go on to the next part of his game. Out, man.
Yeah, I think we're just reaping the benefits of that combination of Webby, getting Tana at the right time, because they speak about him like he was a prodigy when he kind of came into the Titan system, and that's why they hoped so much for him, and it just didn't eventuate. And maybe it was a timing thing, because it seems like right now is his purple patch, and we're reaping the benefits, because it's like, man, he can do nothing wrong right now.
Man, and he's playing behind a really, really dominant pack. And he, halves, and I've never been a halfback, but I always hear those, like, halfbacks from back in the days talk about, playing off the back of really, really solid forward foundations. You hear it all the time from the Sean Johnsons, the Cooper Cronks, the Andrew Johns, all those guys that were really good. Thurstons. And it was like, the reason why we love playing behind packs like that is the amount of time those guys give us. It's like, if you've got a prop or a forward that only gives you 3 meters, you've got like split seconds to try and make decisions. If you've got a prop that's giving you 10 meters, 11 meters every carry, it gives you so much more time to sort of sort out what's going to happen next. And then your playmaking's going to be a bit more free flowing, as opposed to making rush decisions when you're
and it seemed like they figured that out, like with the tactic Riley Smith was taking. Like, he was really pressuring the halves, like getting onto. I think it was almost a penalty that first time, but the second time he got up there. So I think it was a bit unfortunate for him, but fortunate for us when he did get that HIA, because I was like, oh, glad that was gone. Because man, he looked like a real threat, and it was going to be an arm wrestle. So when he went, I think their game plan kind of just broke.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, that was
He's
like
been a real
idea.
pest.
Yeah, just to pester the halves and just get rush kicks, get them off the game. And so that kind of really went out the door. I think that was a good tactic if he was able to stay around. So it worked that we got them off. I liked just the use of the approach they did, but the way they prepared, like they mentioned in the commentary, like the Warriors warm up, they're like, oh, these guys are looking like they're preparing for a prelim final or something. And I was really proud of that, because these are the traditional games, like I said to Stace last week, like the Eels. It's one of those ones where we've been on a bit of a high, and we walked into that Eels game like, oh yeah, they're doing good too, and we should take this one. And it's almost like we arrived there to do that. So I like the fact that and it showed, like you're saying, it was one of those games where we traditionally, like Parramatta also, obviously, they're one of those bogeys. They get up for us, and it seemed like one of those games. And I'm glad we held in there, because it was almost like the commentators were willing it to be that arm wrestle that could have gone either way. And so real proud of the boys. I mean, it didn't feel like they blew them off the park. Like, we just stayed in there, but man, there's another 6 tries. So that's probably the competition at the moment as well, the amount of tries a team with momentum can do. But I think it was just a really, like, in terms of the season and where they were at, it was like they needed this one. Like, for me, I felt like as a fan, they needed this for the bye, like to just get into the bye and be able to relax, reset for the next period. And so it felt like one of those, like, it's just a bad taste. Like, you can't feel like things are going well if it's like, well, that kind of wrecked that little bit of a run. And so it was really important for me. Like, as much as people go, oh, suddenly the Eels, like, they're struggling, but they have that ability, like what they did to the Dogs, and I think that's what they were hoping to do here. Just be the Whaleanga Mare team that's like, we're not going to go anywhere this season, but we're going to Whaleanga everyone else's season. So really proud of the boys pulling off that one.
I think our bench carried us through that game, man. Like,
we forgot to mention that guy off the fence, man.
He was the man. I enjoyed his impact. And then Sam coming on when Egan got injured, suddenly we lost nothing. Like,
exactly.
Commentators are talking about it. It was like, this guy is NRL level, man. And the Warriors are really lucky that they've lost a player of Egan's quality. And then Sam Healy just steps in like, we've lost nothing. We've probably gained more speed from the ruck because of his young, quicker legs. But suddenly, Demi, man, those 2 off the back fence runs is like...
the walkers like... But I think that's why he was doing it. It was like, why won't I try and tackle me, bro? It's not training park. I was getting 80% back then, bro. Like, not even going hundies at training G.
Man, I rewatched the highlights of that game, knowing that run that Dimitri did. And one of the kickoffs they went, and it went down to Junior Bolo. And man, Junior was like handbrakes in that run. And I was thinking, man, I see the youth of like Dimitri Waimaunga and how he runs at the line. And then I see all of these years that Junior Bolo has done it. And it just looks like very pedestrian now, like where he's just running just to make contact with the tacklers, whereas Dimitri is running to score tries down the other end. So he's not even looking at this defensive line; he's looking straight past these guys.
And that's the thing. The legs pumping, like when he did break through the second time, they didn't hold on. He looked like he was just going to keep going to the 50, the 60, wherever he could get to.
And there's that difference, right? Like you see these experienced campaigners who've been doing this week in, week out. Man, the ones that just want to bang bodies and then, you tackled me, and then they'll go to ground. And then you see these young bucks like Dimitri, and you see them around the comp. Well, you see them in the Warriors, that's for sure, who just have this real aggression and purpose and intent when they're running. Like, I was like, Sully, this guy looks like he wants to run like that every game. And I know Junior Bolo's not a young buck anymore, but it's like, see, Uso, if your intention is not to run through that line anymore like you used to, that's probably coming to an end. And and I compare Junior Bolo to someone like
Saving it for the end of the year, man.
And man, if you see Tamalolo, the way he's playing, and he was talking apparently, so I had knee surgery over the off season, and I had my knees drained, and my knees feel like they're 15 years younger again.
Oh, true.
That's why Jace is running like how he's been. He's been hampered a bit by like knee cartilage injuries or something or other. So the man is turning back the clock, and him and Tommy Kaele are ripping it up at the Cowboys.
And that's the thing, like it's like back to Tamalolo run, because that's what makes them so good. Like, you have those guys like Monga run straight, but Tomalolo's footwork at the line, like fast, and then a little step and change of direction and go straight through. I think that's the other part that people struggle with. And, he's got that all back. So whatever they did to his knees is some black magic. The Roosters Broncos, man, like you said, Si, we were on the chat for this one thinking that the Bronx were going to pull it out, but the Roosters too good. Like, they must be concerned about the lead that they had to almost get pulled back in. A late try there to help them get out of jail. I don't know, the Broncos, like with their injury list now. Is this a result of the first year? Like, I don't know if this is part of what happens with Madge's training. Like, just the amount of work that they put into the boys in that first year. Like, is it taking the toll now? Like, guys like Payne Haas, like, he's never broken yet. He's been out for a few weeks now, and it's showing in those forward packs. Like, Jajeski isn't there. I don't know what those forwards are doing. They're so much smaller than what the Broncos have been carrying. But yeah, the Broncos, I don't know. It's a couple. Well, I guess this is the first loss with all their stars out. People thought they were going to lose last week, and then they showed up the Doggies.
They don't have an enforcer anymore in the back with Payne Haas gone, and that's usually Payne's role. I know Xavier Willison is probably stepping into that enforcer role, but not defensively. I think he's stepping into it more as another option in attacking in those when he's hitting those edge runs. Because Xavier's, he's really good as an attacking option, and man, he's really rangy. He's tall. He's like 6'6", and the man nearly scored a second try in the weekend when there was that ball that sort of just bounced away from him, and then the Roosters, I think it was, he got to it and tipped it out. Yeah, and I was thinking, who's that Broncos guy that chased that kick? Oh shit, it was Zaves. And that's again that whole youthful, intention and that real passion to play while you're young that I was talking about with Dimitri. Like, Xavier has that too. Similar age, they're both the same, young, 22, 23, 24-year-olds. So these guys are a young man, and they're really, really wanting it. And Bronx have got some real issues at the moment because now they've lost Adam Reynolds to a head knock. They've lost strike power out wide with Binga now gone. I don't know if Karapani's injury is going to rule him out. But, they've already got other outside backs who are already injured, like Grant Anderson's already out. Ben Hunt's got a bung knee. And now they're going to have, I think they've got Katoni who's out suspended for a couple of games. So,
what wrestling move was he trying to do there, right? Like, I don't know what he was thinking.
Yes, I don't know what he was thinking. That was such a blatant. This was the elbow, onto the back of.
Yeah, just his elbow, just straight onto his head. Was it Lero's head?
Onto Radley. It was Radley, yeah.
Oh, Radley. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and that was the killer for their man. And You know, I could feel Sai's pain, man. Sai was all. No, it was funny just following his messages on the chat. Time for the main event. Oh, this effing ref. I was like, Sully, we're only 7 minutes into the game, mate. Come on.
He's already the ref.
Kapoi for later, mate. Sully, he was the roller coaster of emotion that Sai was going through during that game. And then when it looked like they were on the cusp of achieving that comeback, like it really did look like they were coming back.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. Like they scored all of their tries in 15 minutes to give them a chance. Like they were getting hammered. It was something. It wasn't like 30-0 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was 30-0 at one point.
Yeah. Half time was 24-0. I thought they were headed for a far more, and then Reece scored his try, and then from there, like they just
bang.
Comeback, and I was thinking, what the hell is going on? It's like the Roosters just switched off and were in survival mode, and then it wasn't until real late in the piece where it looked like, it was too much for the Broncos to overcome, and then the Roosters kind of woke up again. But you know, that shows that A, the Broncos, you can never write them off, but then B, so there the Roosters, use the guys like Kaea to give up that much of a lead.
That lead. Yeah.
You know, yes, they are the Broncos and they're current champs, but so these guys had enough personnel in there to hold them out. So good on them for holding on to the victory. But unlucky Broncos, you should have had a better start to that game. It was just way too slow, and then they were just catch-up footy the whole time.
Exactly. All right, let's quickly jump into NRL draft over the weekend. Let's have a look at these results. Oh, bro, you just went down to Clutch City. What happened there, mate?
It's that last game, bro. It's that last bloody game that I was thinking, I need these guys to not get like 60-something points. And then they ended up getting like 60, 70-something. And I'm like, yes. So Eyez, useless Scott Sorensen, and guy-ass Luke Brooks was doing jack. And then all of a sudden, he got like 10, 15 points in the last 5 minutes. But I had one player that didn't score anything, Fletcher Hunt. The Knights didn't really use him off the bench. So I was like, please. Damn it.
It was an interesting round. Golden Elite is going down to Vae Bronx. I think Vae Bronx making some moves on the bottom. Mandingo going down to All Madden, and this year or next picking up the Flowers against Danny Phipps. These Nuts getting up against the leader God Squads. God Squad had a pretty average round. I don't know what happened to him. His captain Adam Dewey got injured. That's right. So that's where he got affected by his points there. When as soon as Adam Dewey got injured, that was game over. Let's have a look at your leaderboard here.
I think you and I are the only two that have beaten God Squad so far.
Oh, did you get him? Yeah, okay, so that helps. Oh, yeah, there we go. So leaving out the table in the top six, so God Squad still sitting at the top this year or the next. Stacey coming in second. Clutch City making some moves into third place. These Nuts in at fourth. NZ Steppers in at fifth. And moving into sixth place, Vae Bronx gets out of the grey part of the table. Mandingo still down the bottom. Trail Mitt, Cameron Saw, and Danny Phipps bringing up the rest of the pack. Partway through where are we in the season? Oh no, we only have third through
Early
the
days,
season.
mate. Early days.
Yeah, heaps of games to go, heaps of changes to come. So we'll see how that goes for the rest of the season. All right, also let's get quickly through these previews. First game up, we talked about the Dogs, Finn's Dogs. And there's a lot of those outs you mentioned. How are you seeing this going?
The Doggies just look super unconvincing at the moment for me. And the Dolphins actually playing not too bad football. They've been unfortunate the last few weeks. That loss to the Warriors, and did they? Oh yeah, they pumped the Storm last week, but that's a Storm that's kind of down and out, so I wouldn't really put too much read anything into that. But the week before that, they went down by 1 point. It was a golden point loss to the Panthers. So, they've been able to grind out really close games in recent weeks. So, my money's on the Dolphins for that game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm sticking with the Finns. I'm not convinced. I don't know how the Dogs turn. Maybe this will be the random game that they turn it around. They eat asses, but yeah, I like the way the Finns have been building. Yeah, like you said, there was a few hard games against the Panthers and then the Warriors, but good of them to bounce back against the Storm. Stace was thinking that, that can hurt your confidence, losing to a couple teams in a row like that and close ones. But yeah, hopefully they took positives out of it because, that win against the Storm, a few of their players' best games of the season. But I don't know, people have been saying that every team that plays the Storm, people say, oh, that was their best game of the season. But I think they're just saying that because it's the Storm, expecting more of the Storm. Roosters, Titans. I've gone Roosters on this. Like the Titans, I don't know. When they've been good, they have been good. Like I think it was against the Eels, and that's about it. But yeah, when they're bad, they were horrible last week. Like Tino said in their pressers, like we threw up shit. And I agree. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm Roosters as well. They've lost Lindsay Collins and Nwangini Tuasia to injury. They've got that guy Cody Ramsey coming in, back on the wing. Good to see him back in the NRL. And then Spencer starts in place of Lindsay. So, yeah, I've been loving watching Nofatu play the last few games for the Roosters. He's really made that number 8 jersey his own. So, Roosters for me, Titans are way too inconsistent for me to pick them over a classy side like the Roosters.
Nice. Cowboys Eels.
It's going to be a tough game, I think. This one, like these guys they on paper it should be the Cowboys, but similar to that first game where it might be the game that the Doggies get up for, the Eels might get up for this one against the Cowboys, but I'm still going to pick the Cowboys for this one, purely because they're a Queensland team, and I really want to see Size nephew Tom score a try. He's coming off the interchange bench this week, so
some tired bodies. Hopefully, he can.
Lost
one over.
And I mean, they've been playing really good, consistent football over the last few weeks. The Cowboys. It's funny watching me and Stacey's wooden spoon teams do really well the last few weeks. And I was like, oh man, in my mind, I'm thinking, suddenly, when is that honeymoon period going to be over between those boys and Foz? I mean, it's the exact same squad. It's only the coach that's different. But could it have been that it was the coach to begin with that was making them wooden spoon material? So, I'll still stick with it because I feel like there's going to be some pendulum swinging back this way towards reality, and that whole, because they've lost a game now, so it's like, was that the turning point game for Manly?
Because the Cowboys, on that point, they've done really well to save their coach. Like literally, like he was in those same conversations. Like he was the next on the chopping block. If it wasn't, the Manly coach, it would have been Peyton. But these guys have, literally as a team, saved their coach. Like,
look at the coaches that have been axed. My Spoonila I'll pick. And your Spoonila I'll pick.
And exactly. And so what have been this other Spoonila I'll pick as well. So.
Exactly. Like you're right. Yeah, this team's turned it around. So I'm picking the Cowboys for this one, bro.
Nice. Knights and Dragons. Knights coming off that Great win. I don't know. The Dragons have a bye last week. Is that why we didn't have to worry about
Yeah, it was a close one
putting up with their
between them and the bye.
Yeah, exactly. They just got the 2
got
points.
over
They
them.
scraped them.
I think I've seen some jokes talking like that. Dragons would struggle against the bye.
Bro, you follow that? Oh, you see that? I love that guy, JC. It's JC99.
Oh, the Dragon supporter. He's cracker. Caleb got me onto that guy.
Yeah.
Caleb got me onto that guy, and as soon as the coach changed and he dumped Kyle, he was like, finally, the coach listened to us. He dumped Garfield, and I was like, sad guy.
Yeah.
And you still got pumped the week that Kyle didn't start, so.
Well, yeah, I feel like he's going to be making another video after this weekend as well.
Yeah, probably. This has Knights written all over it. I don't know, man. Dragons they are out at sea, man. I don't know what is going on at that club, but people are just not clicking, not gelling. Yeah, it's difficult for me to see Dragons get up to beat the Knights, especially the way the Knights have been going in recent weeks.
The Rabbit Sharks, the Sharks coming off that impressive win against the Tigers, especially with the Tigers on that roll. Up against a really strong Rabbits. Rabbits, yeah, unfortunate to lose that one to the Knights. I don't know what was up with that game. The defense was optional in that game, so hard to tell. Like, it was just.
You know what's crazy
your
about
turn
that
to
game?
score. Sorry, you score now.
It was, I think there was maybe, it was 24-6 or whatever it was with 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah.
So that is 30 points of the 80 points that was scored in that game.
Yeah.
So that second half was insane. They were playing touch, man. I was like, touch, no touch. You getting pats on the back, scoring tries.
You can score all the way from there. Yeah, I'll try and run it from here then.
And you know what was guy about that is all the people that you thought would score tries weren't scoring tries.
Oh, hard out.
Hey, guy.
When I looking at my multi and then fucking Marzu, fucking Trey Mooney again. Like, fucking, I need to put Trey Mooney in my bloody multis. This guy's always scoring now.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, it was
but there would have been
Dylan
some
Lucas
decent ones there.
double.
Yeah, you got Kippy. Like, fuck, there would have been some mean ass multis.
It was crazy. That game was crazy. It was very similar to the previous, the Broncos Roosters game. I was like, how do the two halfbacks for Roosters score, and then like the forwards in Broncos score that never score? Like Kerrigan never scores. What's he do? Okay.
All right, Rabbit
this was going to be a tough one. I'm just going to go for Rabbitohs because it's Caleb's team. Purely because, I don't know. This is a coin toss game for me. Either of these teams could beat each other on the day. Sharks have got some form coming in. Keolero's been real strong. Adam Whenua-Blake, for me, the last 10 minutes of last week's game was showing some real good signs of like the Warriors form. AFB, he's been a bit quiet. So I'm kind of hoping his form sort of turns around. But yeah, I'm going to pick the Rabbitohs for mine.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with Rabbits. Just with Jai Gray being back in as well, so I think that'll help fix some of their systems. Like they're not struggling to score, but I think that'll be cool having him back. And yeah, Latrell's just been. I'm glad these nuts has got Latrell as the captain because he's just been turning it on. He's been saving my team. I think he picked up 173 points for me last week. Yeah, and I'm looking for a big game against him. Kaea turned it on last week, so he's going to be exciting. Whether he turns out for the Cookies or the Kiwis at the end of the season as well, be interesting to see what he does there.
Ed Kusi gets a debut.
Oh, welcome back, Kusi. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, when we lost all these players from the Warriors, I was like, man, what are we boxing? We're boxing it, but I think in Webby we trust.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos Manly. I've gone Manly for this one, just after their performance. Like Fosball is alive and well after what we saw at the end of the week, like against the Panthers. That was a great game. Like just just that level of quality and just the arm wrestle. Good time for Manly to strike. Broncos, especially without Adam Reynolds there to steady the ship. Again, like they've got points in them, and I think that's the thing Manly need to be wary of is to how do they stop Reece when he gets in that mood. But yeah, I think if Manly just play a smart game, I have them picking the Broncos for this one.
I'm going to pick the Broncos for this one. But my reasoning is because Manly has been absolutely shit at 4 points this year, and I know that was probably under their old coach, but man, they've got some demons to exercise from that place this year because they haven't been very good. They've lost like 4 games or something in a row at 4 points, and this is their first sort of return trip back to 4
that's
points.
What forced their arm as well. It's like losing your games at the beginning of the season, but at home too. It's like, come on, you've lost the changing room, you've lost the crowd, you've lost everything,
man. They've lost the plot, and I feel like this is the game that the Broncos are going to come back and seek revenge on last week. Reece has got that 1 game under his belt now after coming back from injury. I don't think it's going to be a slow start again that the Broncos had last week.
Just a quick point, like Stacey always mentions it. Your thoughts on Ezra, like when Reece comes, like he's very right about the point. Maybe it changes with the way Thomas Duffy plays, but on that left, Ezra's like, what am I doing now? Because when Reece Walsh sweeps, Ezra's just in the way. Okay. What do you move away? Get out of the way because we're not needed. You're excess.
I think this is probably where there's maturity that needs to be shown by both those guys to know when it is to insert themselves and when to sort of step back, like how Chanel does. Like Chanel will insert himself into games and then he'll realize that, oh no, I'm just a distributor. And then he'll bullet pass out to Alofi, and then that try that he scored was amazing. And that looked like it came off like a blind, broken offload that looked like the player was about to break down. Man, and Chanel looked like he was going to run and then went, oh, actually, man, that bullet was...
And that was like the space he had. You just like, surely this guy's fast. And when you see it, it's like, shit, we got actual speed again now in our team. Because that was like, for a while, Warriors are like, where's our speed? Like, got these moves, but it's like, when our wingers are getting run down, like, oh man, like, you got open pastures and you're looking around. So, and he did that. Like, there was one more where he came in. I'm like, so like back yourself, just go around all these guys.
Yeah. And that's where I think, that's where I feel Ezra needs to sort of have a bit more awareness of what it is he can do for the Broncos. I think his best game is when he is putting people into space, when he is doing some crazy outballs that are going over the top to his wingers that are the finishers. Like, Ezra needs to step back when Reece is sweeping around. It's like, Sully, just get the ball and either be a decoy and ask whoever's on your inside to skip you so that it goes straight to Reece, or you're just catching in pass so that Reece is the one that creates and then you run off him. I feel like that's where he can sort of contribute, is just to, he needs to get out of the way of Reece's like electric speed and creativity. There was that game a few weeks back where Reece wasn't playing, but the Broncos were super dominant on the right side because of Reynolds kicking, and then on the left side because of Ezra's passing. But he was putting...
that was a really good,
Karapani. He was putting Karapani into like scoring opportunities like nothing. And then on this side, Reynolds has got like this kicking target for Binga on that right side. I was like, so they've got a really good...
Oh, yeah, that game. Yeah, that was a good
combo.
Game,
yeah, and then last week against the Roosters, it's like that game plan went out the window. And then when Reynolds went down, Ezra doesn't have the same sort of kicking game, but then he doesn't Yeah, and then it was kind of like stifled a bit of their creativity because Reece is trying to do fucking everything at a gazillion miles an hour, and no one can keep up with him. But he wants to run both sides instead of. So like, you can go right side and I'll run left, but he wants to do both. So
I'm everywhere, man. All right. Big call. Sure, Sai will be happy with that call, mate. Storm Tigers. Storm staring down the barrel of 8 in a row. Tigers coming off that disappointing loss, especially after losing Adam Dewey. He's been really great for them. As much as Lua has been talismanic to kind of bring the team together, I think a lot of their go forward has been Adam Dewey. Like, he carved up the Warriors. Just his ability to take it to the line, and I think people take it for granted that just his size too. So he's going to be a huge loss. But I've gone flip after just saying that. I want to say Storm now. I've ridden Tigers, and I'm sticking with Tigers. I'll stick with what I've written down. Have you seen this one?
I think this is the game where the Storm finally get back on track. I don't say that lightly because the Tigers have been playing really well. And I don't know whether this is a game that Jerome Luai will either bounce back from having a shit game last week or whether he'll just continue to
double down and I'm out of here, guys. It doesn't really matter.
like not control. And you saw this from last season as
he
well.
Was quiet. I don't know what happened.
There were games where he was like a real spectator. Like, you went from that whole dancing feet Jerome, like, try and tackle me, come get me. Come get me. Attract 3 defenders and then Eyez pass to someone to score a try.
Maybe mentally he's like, if I'm the 7, I'm not allowed to do that stuff. Was like, well, yeah, now you're just predictable because it's like, well, he's just going to catch the ball, kick, or do this. Like, you need to jump around. Otherwise, they're like, okay, he's playing a different game. Like, he's got no confidence right now. He's like, I have to do the 7 thing, and I'm not really sure. So I'm just, I'll get here, and I'll kick it there, or I'll get here. It's like, so you look like you're thinking. You look like you're actually not playing the game anymore. You're like, I have to think about it. Like, God, I've got to do this thing.
So yeah, I'm gonna pick Storm to finally break their losing streak over the Tigers.
Yeah, that should be an interesting one. I think the Storm are favourites for this too. So that's
it's everyone's expect. So
actually, the Storm have been like favourites for the last 3 or 4 games. Every time I go to the TAB, I'm like,
the odds are super
against
short.
The Storm. Yeah, it's like make sure I go against the Storm because this helps. Yeah, so it's like these TAB people don't watch the league, obviously. And finally, wrapping it up, the Raiders and the Panthers. The Raiders lose last week. I can't even remember who they played. I think they were the first game of the weekend.
The Raiders.
Oh, actually, I think they won. I remember Tups being happy. Yeah, they beat the Titans. There's nothing.
Oh yeah, they fell.
Sasangi, that's right. He ripped up again. Sasangi, another player in the East squad. Yeah, how are you going for this one?
This one for me, I'm probably going to go with the Panthers. Even though it's at GIO Stadium, I just think the Panthers have had, they've had some good wins under their belt. They've lost a couple of games. And that sort of stuff is just real reality check stuff for them, right? So, that game that they managed to get a 1-point victory over what they should have smashed the Eels, but it was like 23-22 a few weeks back. Those are the games that Panthers probably need more of than the blowouts, and I just feel like they're starting to fizz, man, and good luck to any team that comes up against them because there haven't really been many that have tried to stick with them. And I think outside of that Doggies game where I don't know, the Doggies kind of just they got ascendancy real early, and I think once you get over them early, grind them out, and then just get them frustrated towards the back end of the game where they're thinking they should be ahead by 20 points, and then they start to play normal football. It's like, shit, we have to try and get back into it instead of, guys, we've got a 20-point cushion, now we're just going to galepe this team without defense. And
and it's almost like it was that getting them off guard early because it was almost like they were acting a bit privileged, like the way they all complaining about stuff, Clary and them. It's almost like, that's not right, man. Like, yeah, it was funny to watch. Like, yeah, it's almost like you got to get into their heads where they just seem like, oh, hey, no, this, because yeah, they just started having little sooks about everything. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
Manly
hey,
almost had them, man.
guys. Yeah.
Manly almost had them. I thought that Manly were going to take them out at the end, and I was like, oh, yes, they didn't. Here comes the start of heading to the bottom of the table.
All right, also, let's wrap it up with, you got a little multi there, little three-legger? Any little...
Might have been so Kaea the last few weeks. Probably not. Let's see.
Surely some doubles in these games.
Who are these games?
Brace, someone to pick up a brace.
Let's go for the Raiders and Panthers game.
Milky.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Milky and Hudson Young from the Raiders anytime try scorers.
Oh, nice. Hudson. All right, and I'll chuck in a what's your game? Let's chuck in a double for Toya against the Titans.
Nice.
All right, as usual, gamble responsibly. Nice, nice potty. Any last words, bro?
Nah. Happy Mother's Day to all the mums this coming Sunday. Happy birthday to Midge too this coming weekend. She always unfortunately gets the double up. Happy birthday, Mother's Day to you.
two awesome presents on the weekend. They can't beat that.
Yeah, that's all. Happy birthday, Midge, and happy Mother's Day to all the mums.
Nice. Well, thank you all for listening. If you've come this far, please give us a like and subscribe over at the YouTube channel Weswes Sports. Please go check us out at the website as well, theweswes.com. You'll be able to find us and all the other podcasts. Thanks for supporting. Tune in next week. Catch you later. Cheers.
Weswes Show.